Greetings, fellow saints. You know, in 2 Kings chapter 5, we read a very interesting little account of a man who was the commander of the armies in Syria at the time. And this man was a very powerful man, next to the king, really, and but he was a leper. And he had heard that there was a prophet in Israel who at that time that could heal people of leprosy. So he went down to Israel and eventually he found the prophet, and the prophet just sent a messenger to him and said, go and jump in the Jordan 7 times and you'll be healed. Now, Naaman, he wasn't too happy with just getting a message. He was certain, because he was such a great man, that the prophet was going to come out and wave his hands around and tell him some great and wonderful thing to do and some puff of magic and he would be healed. So he got in a rage and he was heading back to his hometown. And his friends come around him and said, look, you know, if he'd said to you to do something really great and that would give you personal fame and fortune, wouldn't you have done it? And they said, well, how much more simple is it just to go and jump in the river 7 times? So he thought about it and he said, all right then, and he went and did it. And it says that he was healed and his flesh became as a little child, and he was completely healed because of the power of what Jesus has done. So the whole point of that story was, when Jesus asked to do things, asked us to do things, sometimes he doesn't ask us to do the dramatic. Sometimes it's just the very simple things in life. And are we just being obedient to the little things? Or are we truly looking for some great standard platform to stand on to go and convert all the people in deepest, darkest Africa? Or are we just interested in doing the day-by-day little stuff that maybe nobody even sees except the Lord sees? How is your heart with the Lord in these little things? Do you know there's a really interesting twist to this story? That the way that Naaman found out about this prophet was through a slave girl, someone who he had captured and brought into his house, and she was made to do chores and work for nothing, and yet she was a witness to the God of Israel. Just think on that. May God bless you today as you go through the day, and be encouraged in the name of Jesus.